Hi and welcome, Lisa here for Trinity Stamps. Thanks for joining me. In this video, I'm sharing how I created this Teepee fun fold card. This style of card has been around for a long time, and I did one earlier today and had such a great time making it. I thought I would share it here as well. So I'm using the Trinity Stamps Sunflower Bouquet Builder Stamps and dies. Now I've stamped my images onto Copic Express blended cardstock using Memento Tuxedo black ink. We'll do some die cutting, but first let's go ahead and color the images. So I'm going to get started with yellows Y13, Y15, and Y17. And I'm going to start just by flicking down the Y13 on each petal of the blooms. I'm going to follow that with Y15, and I'm just continuing to flick the color out from the center out towards the tip of each of those petals. We're going to come in with Y17 and darken this up just a little bit. And I'm doing the same thing, just flicking the color out. And the darker the color, the less I lay down. I do leave the very tips of the petals white, and then I'll start to work my way back down through the colors just to do a little bit more blending on each petal. Now, you could just do some real simple coloring with these and then die cut them out and use them. You don't have to do all of this blending. For the very centers, N9, N6, and N4, now I went with grays because my color palette is black, white, and yellows. I just kind of kept it simple. A little bit of G99 for the green and then R35 on that tiny little ladybug. So I have 3 pieces of white cardstock that I've cut to 4 inches by 4 inches. I need to score each piece down the center from point to point. I'm going to line the points up on my scoreboard, making sure I'm straight on that score line, and then just go ahead and score this. Once we have these scored, we're going to give them a good crease on the score line. We're going to lay 2 out side by side. And then the third piece we're going to lay on top of that with the points facing me. We'll fold each flap back on that top piece, add our liquid adhesive to it, and make sure everything's lined up, lay it back down, and we'll repeat that on the other side as well. Now when you're laying your glue down, don't go below the squares, and you just have to make sure everything's lined up nice and neat. Just take your time with it. That's why I prefer using the liquid adhesive. It gives you a little bit of playtime there. You repeat that on both sides, and we'll set that aside and let it dry. So I have 2 pieces of black cardstock here that I've cut to 3 7/8 of an inch square. And I have 1 piece that's cut to 1 1/2 inch squared. So we're going to use our paper trimmer to cut these down the center on the points. You want to be sure you have that straight on those points before you cut it. Once you have your cardstock cut, you're going to add liquid adhesive to the back of each piece and place it on your card base. And you can tell where they go. It's real simple. So now on to some pattern paper. I have 2 pieces here that measure 3 3/4 of an inch square and 1 piece that measures 1 3/8 of an inch square. We're going to cut those down the center just like we did the black cardstock. We're going to use our liquid adhesive one more time to add these pieces to our card base. This is actually a really fun card to make. So now that we have all of our pieces down, I'm going to use a piece of Velcro. These are just tiny little Velcro dots. I'm going to use that to hold my card closed so that when the recipient receives it, they have a way to keep it closed and it stands up nice and neat for them. Now you could use a hole punch and twine to do this, but I just prefer the little Velcro dot. And you can see here that this is going to mail flat in an A2 envelope. I used mounting foam to add the flowers and the sentiment to the front of the card. And then I'm finishing this off with some black enamel dots. And I do believe that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope you'll click that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of new content to the channel. Now, for more information about the products used, head on over to the Trinity Stamps website, and I hope you have an amazing day.